Okay, guys, starting with level 0, where we simulate the process. I have built with the team the tank farms, and it simulate a real tank farm scenarios, and you could reflect it even on desalination plant, on water treatment plant, as water now is a hot topic after the recent cyber attack happened. um, you can simulate it even within pharmaceutical, where cleaning water and other stuff are used within parcels, especially those parcels with gray water system and other complicated system, etc. Let's not make it a long story. I have four main tank here, starting with the one here. This tank is the chlorine injection tank. Okay, so we are assuming it's filled with chlorine. Of course, I'm not using a real chlorine here. And I have this distilled water tank, assuming it's taking the water from the desalination plant, maybe. And both of them, the two tank, will feed water to the mixer tank, okay, and supported with the, later on I will show you the variable frequency drive controlling the process, supporting by that mixer, okay. And after the chlorine with distilled water are mixed, it will be transferred to the consumer tank here, and the consumer tank will collect the water. Of course, we will recirculate the process again. So I will again feed the water to the chlorine tank and to the distilled water tank. Yeah. Now, what we have here, we are using a valve, solenoid valve, a normal valve. It's not even a control valve. And we are using a copper tube, which is good for illustrative also, and good looking, I believe. The tank are made from stainless steel. We made it from scratch with help from my colleague. And as I told you, we can build a complete lab setup, even a bigger lab setup, depending on your need in your organization. It's good chance to market what we are doing here. Let me move this one step back. What we are doing here, I have the start and stop push button for the exhaust fan and for the blower fan. The fact is, it has some misconfiguration. I did not finish with it, but just to show you. We are using also the pump. The pump here, I hope I can show it to you inside. We are using the pump, and we are also using the level transmitter. I don't want to move the pump, to be honest. It's quite risky. We are using the level transmitter here. So almost for every tank, and we have multiple pump also integrated, simulating the actuator. Let me start the process for you and show you how things are working. Then we move to level 1 and level 2. Please stay excited. It's still taking more time. Okay, guys, starting with level 0, where we simulate the process. I have built with the team the tank farms, and it simulate a real tank farm scenarios, and you could reflect it even on desalination plant, on water treatment plant, as water now is a hot topic after the recent cyber attack happened. You can simulate it even within pharmaceutical, where cleaning water and other stuff are used within parcels, especially those parcels with gray water system and other complicated system, etc. Let's not make it a long story. I have four main tank here, starting with the one here. This tank is the chlorine injection tank. Okay, so we are assuming it's filled with chlorine. Of course, I'm not using a real chlorine here. And I have this distilled water tank, assuming it's taking the water from the desalination plant, maybe. And both of them, the two tank, will feed water to the mixer tank, okay, and supported with the, later on I will show you the variable frequency drive controlling the process, supporting by that mixer, okay. And after the chlorine with distilled water are mixed, it will be transferred to the consumer tank here, and the consumer tank will collect the water. Of course, we will recirculate the process again. So I will again feed the water to the chlorine tank and to the distilled water tank. Yeah. Now, what we have here, we are using a valve, solenoid valve, a normal valve. It's not even a control valve. And we are using a copper tube, which is good for illustrative also, and good looking, I believe. The tank are made from stainless steel. We made it from scratch with help from my colleague. And as I told you, we can build a complete lab setup, even a bigger lab setup, depend on your need in your organization. It's good chance to market what we are doing here. Let me move this one step back. What we are doing here, I have the start and stop push button for the exhaust fan and for the blower fan. The fact is, it has some misconfiguration. I did not finish with it, but just to show you. We are using also the pump. The pump here, I hope I can show it to you inside. We are using the pump, and we are also using the level transmitter. I don't want to move the pump, to be honest. It's quite risky. We are using the level transmitter here. So almost for every tank, and we have multiple pump also integrated, simulating the actuator. Let me start the process for you and show you how things are working. Then we move to level 1 and level 2. Please stay excited. It's still taking more time. Okay, before I show you how the filling process is happening, now I'm controlling the filling process from the HMI, okay? It could be a SCADA system, a simulated SCADA system, if you have multiple processes and you are running them and monitoring them and controlling them centrally. So what I'm doing here, of course, I put it in emergency mode, but I can activate the batch, the first batch, and it will continue. And you see how the operator can control it. Let's not jump, because I will get back to this one later. We go back here. Okay, let's start the process. I will remove the, I will switch off the emergency mode. You see now the filling process has started, and now we are filling the tank with distilled water. Okay, then at some level, based on the defined value within the PLC, and of course by the operator within the HMI, it will stop at some point. Then the chlorine injection will start filling, then the mixing process will start. Let's take a look at it. And try to imagine how hacker can attack this process and cause a severe damage to your process or shut down your process. You can imagine multiple scenarios that can happen in reality. One of the things, for example, he can increase the amount of the chlorine injection and cause damage, for example, to the RO plant. See, now the chlorine injection started. It's a very small amount of chlorine we are injecting, and once it's stopped, okay, now it will start mixing the chlorine and the distilled water. I wish if I could put the mixer inside, but it's a challenging one and it's for demonstration and nothing is perfect, right? Okay, now you see we are now whatever final product we have, now we are transferring it to the end user, and once the process is finished, it will start sending back everything to the chlorine and to the distilled water tank for starting over and over and over. Imagine you have this process, for example, in your booth, maybe in Black Hat or any other conferences you are participating in. This is one of the services we are offering also. I can rent you the whole lab setup and I myself can represent if you want to. Think about it if you have any upcoming activity, of course. Okay, shall we move to the next part where we have level 1 and level 2 setup? What do you think? You see, now it's filling back in chlorine dosing tank and in distilled water. Now, let's move to the next step. Okay, now let's start with level 1 and level 2. From level 2 perspective, I'm using the HMI, I'm using WinCC, Semantic WinCC runtime application for this setup. Now, remember, you don't have to go with expensive solution. I'm running this now as a business. I'm renting it, I'm giving training on it, etc. But if you are starting with basic stuff, for example, for educational purpose to enhance your knowledge in OT, ICS, cybersecurity, etc., there are multiple choices and good option you can go with. So you don't have to go with expensive stuff. One important thing here, and you have so many platform and other software you can use for PLC simulation for HMI. Now let's continue here. I have the HMI, which is level 2 in my situation or in my lab setup, and within HMI I can control the whole process for the tank farm. Okay, I can manage everything. I can activate, deactivate my batch. I can enter the value, how much I need for main dosing tank, for chlorine dosing tank, how much I need for the mixer tank, etc. And I can also put the limit as the operator. And of course, there are protection setup you can also configure within your own PLC or within your process PLC to make restriction also on the operator. For example, if I have a misuse scenario or human error, as we call it, as a threat scenario, or as we call it, ICS insider. So you have all the pump here, all the valve. You can start, stop the valve also. Here we have also the utility. If you notice the fan, for example, you can start it from the blower fan and you have the exhaust fan, so you can control the utility. I'm adding the fire alarm system also to the process. It's under progress. I mean, you have multiple options based on your need. If you are an end user or a cybersecurity service provider, you have multiple options what you can add based on your business need or based on your cybersecurity need in your organization. Here I have the working hour for everything, for the pump, for the valve, also for preventive maintenance, and we have the alarm list. Making long story short, let's move forward to the level 1 setup. Now, what we are running here. Starting with, let me zoom in more. Yeah, I think it will be much perfect like that. Okay, starting with the main PLC for the process. I'm using S7 1200 PLC. It's good economical price to start with for training purposes, right? And it's very commonly used. Remind us about S7200 in the old day, not S5. I didn't say S5, yeah. I have the power supply as a main 24 volt feed, and I also have the CM1241RS 485422. It's a communication module used for serial point-to-point connection. And here we are using it, we are using the Modbus RTU, so the PLC can communicate with the variable frequency drive down. Let me go down a little bit. Yeah, so I'm using this variable frequency drive. I think it's the least version and the cheapest version from Siemens. By the way, you can integrate here a wireless module, and this wireless module you can configure the PLC from the variable frequency drive from your mobile phone. So this is one attack vector, but I don't want to talk about the possible cyber attack here. So we have the main PLC, okay, integrated with point-to-point communication card to communicate with the variable frequency drive. And I also have the CP1243-1. And this is a communication card to communicate with the telecontrol center, and at the same time it can be used as a firewall, a stateful inspection firewall, and it supports the IPsec VPN encryption. It supports IEC 104 and DMP3. And if you are aware about substation automation system and substation and utilities, it's very common and commonly used protocol within IEC 624, no, sorry, I missed it, within IEC 61850, and to send data to SCADA from the substation automation system. So this is one more card we are using here for future integration, of course. Still under progress. I have here integrated the analog card, analog input card for the level transmitters in my tank farm. All these set up in one rack. Of course, you can extend it based on your need as well. At the same time, it's one of the challenges when it comes to cybersecurity solution like IDS. Again, making long story short, we have the remote IOs, and I'm only using digital input and digital output for remote IO. This is exactly what I need. And we also have the, let me move it. Sorry, I know the video is shaking a little bit. I have here the safety PLC right here, okay? Not fully integrated yet, and I know you will tell me it's integrated with the industrial automation control system, and this is not secure. I understand that, but it's a very common practice, especially in the old day. I know now ISO 62443 and other industrial regulation recommend the separation, but come on, I cannot do the separation. I have only one level transmitter in each tank. Okay, so this is additional cost. It's coming soon anyway. We have the touch panel. The touch panel, I can control the process also from it, the local touch panel. You can control the variable frequency drive. You can start, you can stop the variable frequency drive. You can change also the mixing speed as well. So let's stop it now. If I come here, you can also control the tank. This is a quick video on the level 1 and level 2 devices as per Purdue model. Okay, of course it's not integrated as per Purdue model. I'm not doing any segmentation. Now, if you notice, this one here, it's integrating the Phoenix Time server, the small Phoenix Time server I'm using. I put it near the window because this is the only way it will work. So it's integrated in the process. We know the criticality of time server, of course, and we have this managed switch from TP-Link. It's a cheap choice, okay, especially if you don't have a big budget. At the same time, it supports port mirroring if I'm testing IDS solution or intrusion detection system. So we are using TP-Link because industrial switch, especially if you are using a good one, it will be more expensive. So for this lab setup, it's sufficient, but you need to decide based on what you are running. Okay, finally, and maybe we can call this level 3, where I have the billing system. But before the billing system, let me show you the web access to the PLC and what we can control from the PLC web server functionality, which is something you can enable and disable yourself. If you notice here, when I access it, I just access it with default credential, again for security training purposes. You can see that I can run, stop the PLC without any issue. So he will give me indication, are you sure? He didn't ask for any password. I can start and run. And what we did here as well, I have the user defined page, and in the user defined page I can control the fan, the blower, and the exhaust. I think you can hear the noise coming, so I can control both of them, and I can also start and stop the variable frequency drive. I can even change the speed of the variable frequency drive. This is one of the functionality we configure for web access, also for attack simulation. Okay, for the water tank batch dashboard, this is like a billing system for your production, which consumer you are dealing with, how much have you produced in the last 1, 2, 3, 4 years, how much the cost of each batch, how much the cost of each chlorine injection, the cost of distilled water, etc. So this is a simulation process, a whole process of the dashboard of billing system. And you can even manage it yourself, so you can update the batch record, you can print it and save it as PDF, as you can see. And you can also, for example, we call it pharmaceutical client X here, and you can delete some batches maybe. Usually it will not happen. I believe it's not as easy, but it's a function there. You can search record, of course. So this is a whole dashboard for this simulated production process for tank farm. One more thing we added here, the working hour for the pump and for the valve. You can see here. You can control it, for example, for the valve 2, for valve 3. You can monitor using color code. At the same time, I have here also the history, working history for the pump. This is very good for preventive maintenance. You have all the details. If you go down also, you can see the working hour. Now, this billing system and preventive maintenance platform is integrated with the HMI SQL server, WinCC SQL server, to be more precise. This is just a quick video. I hope it's a quick one. I think we took quite time in explaining the lab setup. Now, remember, if you are interested in in training program, in conference participation, in renting the setup, etc., you can reach me out, and we can negotiate how we can proceed further. I think this is the fourth video or the third video for my lab setup. I have built multiple lab setup in the last 10 years, maybe 15, not 10 years, yeah. Some of them were not cybersecurity setup. It was based on client need. If you are building a cybersecurity setup, of course, for an end user, or if you are end user, you will have different requirement because you are doing security batch test, POC, proof of concept, etc. So you will have different demand, different requirement, different needs. You might need a strategy with CapEx, with OpEx, with roadmap for building the lab and how it serves the company. If you are selling a cybersecurity business service or services, then you need different study, different strategy. Am I making a benefit from the lab setup or not, etc. So this is a quick video. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. Please share in the comment any recommendation or I don't know, any feedback. Feel free. Thank you so much, and see you soon in another video.